welcome back to Dreamy Train Tales. Thank you for joining me tonight. Now let's settle down and begin our journey together. If this brings you peace, please like and subscribe so we can explore more historic railways together, but only if it truly helps you unwind. And if you'd like, please share in the comments where you're listening from and what time of day it is for you right now. If you genuinely appreciate these journeys, you can support my channel by buying me a coffee through the link in the description. Every coffee helps me improve and create even more relaxing adventures for you. Thank you so much for your support. Tonight you find yourself standing at Reno station. The platform rests in a hush that feels deeper than silence, as if the cold itself has learned to listen. Pale winter light stretches thinly across the high desert, soft and colorless, touching the rails with a faint silver sheen. You step aboard the California Zephyr slowly, deliberately, your movements unhurried, as though time has already begun to loosen its grip. The carriage welcomes you with gentle warmth, the muted glow of overhead lamps reflecting softly off polished wood and brass fittings that speak of long-distance journeys and unbroken horizons. Before we begin this journey together, take a moment to settle in wherever you are. Let your shoulders soften. Allow your jaw to unclench. Take one slow breath in, letting it fill you with calm, and then let it drift out in an easy, unhurried release. The gentle rhythm of this historic railway is here to support you and carry you, helping you move away from the noise of the day and into a quiet place within yourself. As you settle into your seat, the world outside feels distant, wrapped in frost and early morning stillness. Breath hangs faintly in the air on the platform as the final passengers board, their footsteps subdued, their voices low and respectful of the hour. Somewhere down the line, a door closes with a soft, final sound. The conductor's call drifts briefly through the cold, then fades, leaving only the quiet anticipation of departure. The locomotive exhales, a slow, steady breath of steam, followed by a gentle vibration that passes through the carriage floor and up into your body. It is not a jolt, but a reassuring hum, a promise of motion rather than its demand. The train begins to move almost imperceptibly at first, the platform slipping away inch by inch until Reno station dissolves into a blur of shadow and light behind you. Outside the window, the desert stretches wide and open, its muted browns and greys softened by frost and lingering snow patches tucked into shallow hollows. Low shrubs stand dusted in white, their shapes blurred by the fragile light of dawn. The sky above is vast and pale, a slow gradient from cool blue to the faintest hint of warmth near the horizon. Far off, the Sierra Nevada rises in quiet silhouette, distant, patient, waiting. The steady rhythm of the wheels begins to settle in, a soft repeating cadence that feels almost like breathing. Each sound arrives gently, predictably, inviting your thoughts to slow and align themselves with the motion. The world no longer asks anything of you. There is nowhere to be, nothing to decide. Your train carries you now. As Reno falls fully behind, the last traces of the city fade into open land. Roads grow fewer, buildings give way to wide expanses of frozen ground and low rolling terrain. Occasional fence lines slide past, half buried in snow, marking boundaries that feel irrelevant from within the moving warmth of the carriage. The desert seems endless here, calm and untroubled, holding its breath beneath the early winter sky. Inside, the carriage remains quiet. A distant murmur of heating pipes blends with the low mechanical song of the train. Curtains sway almost imperceptibly with the motion. The seat beneath you is steady and supportive, encouraging your body to relax fully, to let go of any lingering tension. Shoulders soften. Breathing deepens. The journey has found its pace and it is unhurried. The light outside grows slowly, minute by minute. What was once a pale suggestion of morning now becomes clearer, revealing subtle textures in the land. The faint sparkle of ice crystals, the smooth curves of snowdrifts shaped by wind. Shadows stretch long and gentle, sliding across the desert floor as the sun continues its quiet ascent. Nothing rushes, everything unfolds exactly as it should. Somewhere ahead, the tracks begin their gradual turn toward the mountains. You cannot yet feel the climb, but you sense the change approaching, like a thought forming slowly at the edge of awareness. For now, the Zephyr glides forward across level ground, steady and composed, gathering itself for what lies beyond. Your gaze drifts, unfocused, following the slow procession of landscape outside the window. Each passing moment feels complete in itself, requiring no memory and no anticipation. The gentle motion rocks you subtly, a cradle built of steel and rhythm, guiding your body toward deeper rest. As the desert gives way to the first hints of rising terrain, the Sierra peaks ahead catch a touch of early sunlight, their snowy faces glowing faintly against the cool morning sky. They remain distant, serene, unchanging. There will be time for them later. For now, there is only this. The soft hum of the California Zephyr, the quiet unfolding of dawn, and the simple comfort of being carried westward, safely and effortlessly, into the heart of winter. The land begins to rise so gently that at first it feels like nothing has changed at all. Only the rhythm beneath you deepens, the wheels taking on a slightly slower, more deliberate cadence as the California Zephyr leans into the climb. Outside, the open desert gradually yields to the first signs of the mountains ahead. The ground lifts, the air feels colder even through the glass, and scattered pines begin to appear, dark, upright sentinels against the snow. The trees grow closer together as the train advances, their branches heavy with winter, needles holding soft layers of white. Forest shadows stretch across the tracks, creating a soothing pattern of light and dark that slides steadily past your window. The world seems quieter here, as though the forest absorbs sound, leaving only the low, comforting murmur of the train itself. Frozen rivers come into view, winding through the valleys like pale ribbons of ice. Their surfaces are smooth and still, reflecting the muted sky above. Where the ice thins, dark water moves slowly beneath, unseen but felt, a reminder of quiet motion continuing even in the coldest season. The train follows these waterways for a time, curving gently along their paths, never hurried, never abrupt. As elevation increases, snow deepens along the trackside. Banks rise higher, soft and rounded, shaped by wind and time. The pines stand taller now, denser, their trunks straight and reassuring. Every so often, a clearing opens briefly to reveal a wider valley below, layered in white, calm and untouched, before the forest closes in again. The Zephyr passes through small mountain towns nestled among the trees. A handful of buildings appear, roofs thick with snow, windows dark or glowing faintly with early morning warmth. Roads lie quiet, their edges softened by drifts. No one seems to be in a hurry here. The train moves through without disturbance, a visitor slipping gently through a place still half asleep. Inside the carriage, the warmth feels deeper, more cocooned, as the cold outside grows sharper. The steady vibration beneath your feet becomes almost hypnotic, each rise and fall of the track rocking you into greater ease. Breathing slows naturally, syncing with the train's measured progress. There is no need to watch closely. The landscape unfolds whether you look or not. The forest thickens further, evergreen boughs arching overhead in places where the line cuts through narrow valleys. Snow clings to every branch, weighing them into soft curves. When the train rounds a bend, the trees shift suddenly, creating a momentary swirl of motion before settling back into stillness behind you. Occasionally, the Zephyr crosses over frozen creeks on low bridges, the faint echo of steel on steel passing beneath you, gentle and brief. The sound fades quickly, swallowed by the trees and distance. Everything about the journey feels cushioned, as if even noise has learned to move softly here. Higher still, the air appears clearer, crisper. Light filters differently through the forest, brighter yet colder, reflecting off the snow in a subtle glow. Shadows shorten and lengthen as the train changes direction, creating a slow dance of light across the carriage walls. Time seems to stretch, unmeasured, generous. You may notice how little effort it takes now to remain still. Muscles loosen. Thoughts drift and dissolve before they fully form. The repetitive sounds of motion, wheels, rails, the quiet hum of machinery blend into a single continuous presence. It is not something to listen to closely, but something to be held by. As the climb continues, the valleys narrow and the trees press in closer, guiding the train steadily upward. The world beyond the window feels ancient and patient, unchanged by your passing. Snow, forest, and ice exist in their own calm rhythm, and for a while, you share it. The California Zephyr moves on, sure-footed and composed, threading its way through pine forests and frozen rivers, carrying you higher into the mountains, unhurried, secure, and deeply at ease. The climb reaches its quiet peak as the California Zephyr eases into the high country of Donner Pass. Snow begins to fall more steadily now, fine flakes drifting past the windows in slow, unhurried patterns. They catch the light briefly, then disappear into the white beyond, as if the world itself is gently breathing them in. The sound of the train softens further here, the snow absorbing echoes, smoothing every edge of motion until even the rails seem to whisper. Outside, the Sierra Nevada rises fully around you. Granite walls and deep cuts line the track, their surfaces blanketed in thick layers of snow that round every sharp angle into calm curves. Pines stand close and tall, their dark forms half veiled, branches bowed beneath winter's quiet weight. The mountains do not feel imposing here, only protective, enclosing the train in a sheltered corridor of stillness. The Zephyr glides into a snow shed, and the light shifts suddenly. Windows dim, the outside world replaced by a muted, wooden hush as the train passes through. The sound changes too, softened and hollow, like distant footsteps in a dream. You feel the enclosure without tension, a brief cocoon that enhances the sense of safety and warmth inside the carriage. When the train emerges again, daylight returns slowly, filtered through falling snow and forest shadow. Bridges appear and vanish, carrying the train across ravines filled with white silence. Below, valleys are hidden beneath layers of snow and mist, their depth suggested rather than seen. Everything feels simplified here. No sharp contrasts, no distractions, only variations of white, grey, and deep evergreen. The landscape invites your attention, then gently releases it, encouraging your thoughts to drift without effort. As the train rounds wide mountain curves, the rhythm slows further, deliberate and steady. Each movement feels intentional, confident, as though the Zephyr knows this terrain intimately. The wheels follow the rails with patient assurance, and that certainty transfers to you, easing any lingering alertness into calm acceptance. There is nothing unpredictable here, nothing to anticipate. Snow gathers along the edges of the track in high, smooth banks. In places it rises almost to the height of the windows, forming quiet walls that guide the train forward. The snowfall thickens, blurring distance and softening depth, until the world beyond feels close and intimate, as if the mountains have drawn nearer to watch the passage. Inside, warmth deepens as the cold outside intensifies. The gentle hum of heating blends seamlessly with the steady motion, creating a continuous undercurrent of comfort. The seat supports you without pressure, and the slight sway of the carriage rocks you in a slow, repetitive pattern. Breathing settles naturally into this rhythm, unforced even, calm. The train enters another series of snow sheds, each one dimming the light just enough to make the return to brightness feel gentle rather than abrupt. Time stretches in these moments. Seconds and minutes lose their edges, flowing together as the Zephyr advances through alternating shadow and glow. There is no need to mark progress. The journey unfolds on its own terms. Beyond the sheds, the Sierra opens briefly into wider alpine views. Snow-covered slopes rise on either side, their contours softened until they resemble sleeping forms beneath thick blankets. The sky above is pale and quiet, clouds low and heavy, releasing snow in an endless, patient fall. Nothing stirs unnecessarily, even the wind seems to have chosen rest. The sense of altitude is subtle but unmistakable. The air appears thinner, clearer, the light more diffuse. Every sound feels cushioned, distant, as though heard through layers of cotton. Your thoughts respond in kind, growing slower, less defined, content to wander without direction. As the Zephyr continues across Donner Pass, the landscape remains hushed and watchful. Snow falls, forests stand still, mountains hold their breath. The train moves steadily onward, a warm, moving thread through a world of white silence, carrying you safely through the heart of winter, deeper into rest, deeper into calm. The train begins its gentle descent almost without announcement. There is no sudden change, no sharp turn, only a subtle easing in the rhythm beneath you, a softening of motion as the California Zephyr releases itself from the high mountain stillness of Donner Pass. Outside, the snowfall thins, flakes drifting more sparsely now, revealing deeper layers of forest and slope as twilight slowly gathers. The light changes first. Day fades into a cool blue-grey hush, the kind of light that settles softly rather than disappearing all at once. Snow-covered pines glow faintly in this half-light, their outlines blurred, their branches etched delicately against the darkening sky. Shadows lengthen and blend together, smoothing the landscape into a continuous calming flow as the train glides downward. The forest opens and closes in a slow rhythm. Tall evergreens stand in quiet clusters, then give way to gentle clearings where the snow lies undisturbed, smooth and unbroken. In these open spaces, dusk feels wider, more expansive, as though the sky itself has lowered to meet the earth. The train curves through these scenes with unhurried grace, never lingering too long, never rushing ahead. The sound of motion becomes even more soothing on the descent. Wheels hum with a softer resonance, and the slight sway of the carriage takes on a deeper, more comforting cadence. Each curve feels like a lullaby, rocking you gently from one moment to the next. The mountains no longer rise around you, instead they recede slowly, allowing space to breathe, to rest. Snow still lines the trackside, but it appears calmer here, less wind-shaped, less dramatic. Drifts settle into rounded forms along embankments and between trees, their surfaces faintly glowing in the last light of day. The cold feels distant now, contained outside the windows, while inside the carriage warmth wraps around you like a familiar blanket. As the Zephyr descends further, small signs of life begin to appear. A lone cabin light flickers between the trees. A narrow road curves quietly through the forest below, empty and still. These gentle details do not disturb the calm, they deepen it, offering reassurance rather than stimulation, reminders of quiet human presence without urgency. The sky darkens gradually into deeper shades of blue and indigo. The first stars emerge faintly above the treetops, steady and unblinking. They do not compete with the landscape but hover above it, silent witnesses to the train's passage. Snow reflects what little light remains, ensuring nothing feels truly dark, only softened and subdued. Inside, everything encourages stillness. Muscles loosen further. The steady temperature, the low hum, the subtle vibrations all blend into a single sensation of being carried. There is no effort required. No watching, no listening closely. The journey supports you completely, allowing awareness to fade into comfort. The descent continues through twilight forests, the track gently winding, the world outside moving in slow, reassuring patterns. Time stretches and thins, becoming almost irrelevant. Each moment feels complete on its own, needing no connection to what came before or what follows. As Truckee draws nearer, the train does not announce its approach with urgency. Instead, it maintains its calm pace, guiding you downward with care. The mountains settle behind you, the forest grows quieter still, and the winter sky deepens overhead. The California Zephyr moves on, steady and composed, carrying you through dusk and into rest. The descent feels like an exhale, long, slow and final, easing you gently towards stillness beneath the winter night. The train continues forward, but your awareness no longer needs to follow it. The steady motion has done its work, smoothing the edges of thought, quieting every remaining ripple of alertness. Outside, the winter night settles fully over the forests and valleys, but you do not need to watch it. The journey now happens for you without effort. Breathing slows naturally, deep and even, matching the soft rhythm beneath the carriage. Each inhale feels calm and unhurried. Each exhale releases what little tension remains, letting it drift away into the quiet hum of the rails. There is nowhere to go, nothing to listen for, nothing to anticipate. The warmth of the carriage holds you gently. The seat supports you completely, allowing your body to grow heavier, more relaxed, as if sinking into a familiar place of comfort. The train's motion becomes a gentle rocking, subtle and repetitive, guiding you toward rest with patient consistency. Outside, snow rests undisturbed beneath the stars. Inside, everything is steady and safe. Thoughts fade into soft impressions, then into silence. If images appear, they drift slowly, forests, snow, twilight, before dissolving without effort. You are carried forward without needing to stay awake. The California Zephyr continues its quiet passage through the night, but you are free to let go, free to rest deeply as the journey carries on. There is nothing left to do. Sleep arrives naturally, gently, like the final soft turn of the rails beneath you. Sweet dreams and good night.